The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Let's learn to love. Actress Meg Ryan, who was married to Dennis Quaid for about 10 years, had an affair with Russell Crowe, her co-star in the film Proof of Life. Meg Ryan has mentioned in interviews that her marriage was already struggling, including a lack of intimacy and emotional connection. The disclosure of the betrayal contributed to the end of the marriage. Meg also claimed that Dennis could not handle being the less famous one in their relationship and that he had also cheated on her. Discovering a betrayal is difficult, but being caught and exposed in the tabloids is even more complicated. This happened in the relationship between British actress and model Elizabeth Hurley and actor Hugh Grant. The actor was caught by the Los Angeles police with a prostitute in his car. The couple remained together for 5 years, but eventually separated.
He was such a great husband and such a great dad, and I think that I fell into a situation where I thought that the grass was greener somewhere else.
Regrets rarely repair mistakes made. Kris Jenner, the mother of the famous Kardashians, recalled the infidelity that destroyed her marriage. She said that she was very happy with her husband, lawyer Robert Kardashian, but at one point she thought the grass was greener on the other side of the fence and cheated on the father of her 4 children with a football player who lived next door. Kris's mistake led to the breakup and left her devastated. When I look back on it now, probably one of my biggest regrets in my life is that marriage fell apart. Warning signs for extramarital adventures: lack of sexual desire for the spouse, financial problems, and lack of companionship are some warning signs that someone may be looking for extramarital adventures. In the world of football, numerous players are recognized not only for their skill, but also for their personal qualities. The situation involving football player David Beckham and businesswoman Rebecca Luce created significant repercussions. Despite the scandal receiving extensive coverage in both British and international media, David and Victoria Beckham overcame the crisis and remained married. The player spoke about how he felt daily. How am I going to go to work? How am I going to go on that training pitch and look as if nothing is wrong? I felt physically sick every day when I opened my eyes. How am I going to do this? Victoria, when asked if she resented her husband, did not deny it. Former US President Bill Clinton was widely known for his affair with Monica Lewinsky, a White House intern. Although the relationship did not result in a divorce, the scandal had profound political and personal repercussions and was widely reported in the media.
And the winner is Sandra Bullock on the blind side.
Jesse James had multiple extramarital affairs while married to Sandra Bullock. The scandal came to light shortly after Bullock won the Academy Award for Best Actress. The consequences of a wrong choice are diverse. Is it possible to get over a betrayal?
A very good evening to all of you. Once again, the Love Talk Show. And Andrea, good evening also. Is it possible to overcome a betrayal?
That's hello, good evening all. Peter, learn how to love intelligently. It's possible. And by the end of this program, you will know how.
We have something to share with you today. We were watching this video, talking about a few people, some examples of people who found out they were going through this difficult moment of their lives. And the main question is how to overcome this. And today we want to talk about something that, in my opinion, is important. And this has been one of the main lessons, Andrea, that when people are coming to the love therapy, they are learning. This is one of the basic lessons of them all.
Let's not forget that above all is God. But we have this, can I say it, this primary relationship that if we forget about it, we ruin everything starting from within. If we don't respect this primary relationship, We won't understand what love means. We won't respect even ourselves.
So you already know, my wife already said it, your primary relationship. If you want, you can share with us your comments, your opinion about what is your primary relationship. And the first slide that we want to share with you says, some people get so distressed when they are cheated on or abandoned that they even try to commit suicide. And Andrea, it's something we have been witnessing, we have been watching at the love therapy. When people are being cheated or abandoned by someone, and they've made that person or that relationship the foundation of their lives, or using the word that we are using now, their primary relationship, and they lost it. So they lost everything. When that person left and went out of the door, with that person went the pleasure of life, with that person went the happiness, with that person went the joy, went the self-esteem, everything.
Unfortunately, we have been seeing this a lot. And we say unfortunately because when a person gets to the point of trying to commit suicide because someone else or a person that she loved and she cared about left, it's because there's no self-esteem at all, there's no self-respect at all, and the person, she ends up being depressed and being led by this depression because she doesn't have this main foundation. Of course, we said this before, God is the priority, but when you have, or even if you have faith, or if you say, I believe in God, you have a religion, but you don't respect yourself, you don't love yourself, so there's no point because you made someone else, you place someone else as a God in your life. So what's the point of us sometimes saying, but I have faith, but with that person, when that person left, everything, you were drained. Everything came out of within yourself and you have no foundation at all. It's like the ground, the floor went out of your feet and you are left with nothing.
They start, says the second slide, they start living with the goal of bringing that person back at all costs. And this, my dear friend, is when some people, they end up falling in a situation that they are exposing themselves. We know someone in common, Andrea, who was willing to do this, anything to have that person back, including putting on the line this person's integrity.
And I can even remember a few examples that I've heard a few years ago, not too long, but a few years ago, that mothers, and not only one or two, Peter, but mothers that because of a relationship and because they thought that their children would endanger that relationship because they were threatened. I don't want you because you have children, you have this or that responsibility. Unfortunately, and this is very sad, this is very hard to say, they even killed their children to keep that man, to keep that person in their life. So see, the person gets so distressed, so depressed, she can't even think straight. This is the point where many people, even nowadays, they are getting to. They are placing a person as a god in their lives, and that person rules everything.
And when we say as God, maybe you are watching the program and you say, I don't believe in God. When my wife was talking about God, yes, we speak about God because everything that we do is faith-based. But maybe when we talk about God, maybe for you is the foundation where you are building something upon. You built all your hope on that person.
The trust.
You made all your life around that person. All your dreams were around that person. And it's not bad, listen to me, it's not bad when you share your life with someone that you love. That's perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with it. But from this, to make this person your foundation, your strength, the reason for you to breathe, if you lose this, you are losing everything that you hope for. Andrea, can you please read the third one?
Acknowledging that the problem is not the separation, but the state of emotional weakness. And while I was seeing this and I was listening to you, Ricard, this next slide, I could even remember a while ago when I start talking before I met you, of course, I started talking with people to get to know them, not, of course, because before we got married, we knew people, but they were not the right people. They were not the right person for you to get married with. And I was disappointed also. I thought this person must be, the person that I will get married to and everything. But then when I started to get to know the person and talking to the person, I got disappointed. But I didn't blame God, I didn't blame people, I didn't even blame myself, because we live in an imperfect world, because we aren't perfect too. And that doesn't mean that we will start blaming people. So you need to have the strength. If someone left you or abandoned you or disappointed you, we were all disappointed at least once in life, weren't you? But if you are emotionally weak, spiritually weak, that's the most important part, spiritually weak, and this leads to an emotional weakness, you will always deal with the situation in a negative way. You won't handle the situation and you are not able to move forward. We need to think, we are disappointed because maybe once upon a time I disappointed someone also. I said something that I shouldn't. I dealt with the person in a way that I shouldn't. We are all humans. But the thing is, we need to be strengthened from within, or to be strong from within, and to hold on to this first relationship, that is having this ability to deal with the situations and move on. And we are going to learn how to do that.
So don't forget, acknowledging that the problem is not the separation, but the state of emotional weakness. And when you give in to this, you are putting yourself down, and you are allowing the circumstances to dominate you. And when this is happening, you are guided by what you see and what you feel, and should be the opposite. Watch what Bishop was talking about in one of our love therapies.
The laws of God were available for the people in the form of the commandments. The laws were read to the people. The truth is that they didn't want to know. When we want to learn how to do something, we learn. I'm sure you've had an experience where you wanted to learn how to do something. I want to learn how to build this, to make this. You went out of your way and you learned. In a relationship is the same. You have to understand that everything you need to build a happy relationship comes from God. Mm-hmm. Pastor Peter said something very important, that when he realized that he had a problem with stubbornness, being stubborn, okay, he decided to change. But what did he do? He prayed. Mm-hmm. And maybe you say, but Bishop, I don't know how to change. It's okay that you don't know how to change, but that's when we go on our knees and we say, my God, I realize I have this problem that I don't know how to change. What do I do? And God, He shows you. You know, when we talk to God, when we pray, is a sign of humility, is a sign of dependence. I can look at a problem in my marriage and try to solve it myself. And your efforts are noted by God and the person. But you can do that, but you can also say, my God, and that's why you're here in love therapy. My God, how do I solve this? I'm having this problem with my wife. We don't see eye to eye. What do I do? And if you are humble to hear God speaking to you, sometimes in your mind, sometimes when you read the Bible, you will then be able to fix that problem. But you have to understand that the solution you're going to find when you seek that from who? From God. Amen? Otherwise, you are only going to see the problem in the other person.
Throwback Thursday, TBT.
And we are talking about your primary relationship. We already spoke about 3 items that in our opinion are extremely important. We want to talk about the 4th. Primary relationship is the relationship you have with yourself. The commitment you have with yourself. The way that you are, looking at yourself, taking care of yourself. And this is not a matter of selfishness or saying, I don't care about anyone, what I want is just looking at me. No, it's not this what we are sharing here with you. When we say that the primary relationship is a relationship you have with yourself, it's when, Andrea, people, they start knowing what their limitations are, what their weaknesses are. And knowing what our weaknesses are or our limitations are doesn't mean that we are being weak. It means exactly the opposite. We are knowing where we are the most vulnerable, and we are taking care to transform these weak areas in strong areas of our life in order that we are not going to be trapped by them and we are not going to suffer with them.
If you tend to be, for example, a very emotional person and led by people, led by your heart, you have to really be careful with your choices. This primary relationship is the relationship you have with yourself, because when you have a relationship with God, of course you will have a good relationship with yourself, because you will value yourself. If someone leaves you, if something happens, if you are disappointed, you know that the relationship that you have, that is the pillar of your life, will sustain you and will give you the strength to overcome everything.
If the primary relationship is not well, you won't have a good relationship with others. Because if you are not being well with yourself, if you don't feel well with yourself, everything that is going on, you will think, Andrea, people will think, no one understands them. Their pain is bigger than everyone's. Whatever they are going through, no one went through the same. No one knows what they are feeling. And this is a sign that the primary relationship is not well.
If we don't have that self-respect, if all the time we are blaming others because they left or because they disappointed us, and we are not taking care of ourselves first. And that's why, Peter, when people, they come to the love therapy sessions, we always teach them how to heal their wounds before they enter a new relationship. Because if something happens, they want they won't, how do you say that? They won't know how to deal with that. They won't know how to overcome that. And we go back to one of the first slides. They will tend to give up on themselves even. And that's very bad, and that's very dangerous for us.
And now comes what we usually say, it's the key of everything. Now it comes the key that will open the door, that in our opinion, and this is what we have been witnessing for years, not just in ourselves, but in all those who humbly, they submit themselves to learn, to invest, to be transformed, to get better, not just a proud position of I know and this is who I am, and people who are really willing to change. So it says faith and inner strength should be the main foundation. And this, this is our intelligence working. Because if I have my faith as the foundation of my life, that inner strength that we call faith, so whenever something around happens, I will not collapse. I will see, I will witness. Andrea, we are going to see what is going on, but this person, myself, yourself, whoever has faith and this inner strength as the foundation, they will not collapse. They will see something collapsing around. They will see something sometimes happening around, and they will not be indifferent to what is going on, but they will not fall. And this is what happens when we are not taking care of our primary relationship.
The thing is, Peter, situations, they won't become easier because this world is not an easy world to live in. We are the ones that have to become stronger and stronger. And we have been strengthening our faith and our intelligent faith, I even say so, every week in the love therapy sessions. Even if you were disappointed, if you are in pain, if you're still in pain, you were not able until today to overcome a disappointment, a betrayal. So don't give up on yourself. Don't stay there just feeling sorry for yourself. And I am so sorry to say this. Sometimes people are listening to us, Peter, and they're saying, you don't understand because you were never betrayed. Well, you can't say that.
It's a sign they are not taking care of their primary relationship.
And there's still an open wound. But of course, you can't say you didn't go through this or through that. We already told you that we came from homes, how do you say? A broken family, a broken household. So, and it's possible to overcome because it happened to us, and it has been happening with people that give that step and they want to strengthen themselves. Although they are feeling weak, I went through this, I went through that, but I want to overcome. My life will not end like this because I won't allow it. So I will do something about it. That's what we are talking about.
And this is the faith and the inner strength that should be your foundation.
Do you have questions about love, relationships, or dilemmas of the heart? Well, you need not worry anymore. The Love Talk Show has the perfect segment for you, the Q&A. Send your questions to love@uckg.org and have them answered on the show.
If you'd like to write to us, we have an email that is available.
If you prefer to remain anonymous, please let us know and we will respect your privacy. Tune in to the Love Talk Show every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m.
Here we are once again with the Love Talk Show. We are here to learn more about love.
Intelligent love.
Your question can be used as the topic of the program. Who knows? You just might be helping others in a similar situation. Sharing your questions can help you, as well as inspire and guide others facing their own love challenges. Your email could be the beginning of a journey of understanding and discovery. Don't leave your questions unanswered. Email love@uckg.org now and take part in the Q&A segment on The Love Talk Show. The Love Talk Show, helping you to love intelligently.
And this coming Thursday, we are going to have this seminar called Love Therapy. And once again, Andrea, we are going to learn how to love intelligently and how to take care of ourselves. So this coming Thursday, 8 p.m., we are going to be there together too.
If you want to strengthen your main foundation, so be here with us. Come this coming Thursday, and we will be counseling since 7 p.m. The pastors' wives, Bishop, Mrs. Elena, a team of faith, the Love Therapy team will also be here to answer your questions. So we are here for you. Learn how to love intelligently and how to heal the wounds that maybe someone caused within you.
So this coming Thursday, 8 p.m. here in our Cathedral of Miracles, 2327 Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London. You are more than welcome. God bless you all. See you here tomorrow, 10 p.m.